Hello guys, hello, and we are here to do story time. And you are looking at two babies. Yep, two babies. Uh, just a moment. Okay, now we're back. I'm doing this video today for story time. Also, I'm doing it for Liam at Reborn Huggles Nursery. I saw his video yesterday. Oh my goodness. That made me cry. That was so sweet. Thank you, Liam and his mommy. Liam loves story time. And he loves Miss Olivia and Noah. That's who's with me today. So there they are, Liam. And he also wanted to hear the story 101 Dalmatians. Although his favorite story is Lady and the Tramp. I am expecting that book next week. So hopefully it will come in and I'll read it to you. It would be my honor. So let's get started on 101 Dalmatians. Just a minute. I will tell you though, it's an Easter book. That's all I had with 101 Dalmatians. I hope that's okay. And I do apologize for that, but that's all I've got. So let's get started with 101 Dalmatians, the Great Egg Hunt for Liam. Okay. To celebrate the end of a rainy week and the first day of a spring, Pongo and Perdita had a surprise in store. We're going to have an egg hunt, Perdita said. We have the eggs here, Pongo said. We need everyone to help with painting and hiding. Are you all up for it? The puppies barked happily. Soon every puppy had an egg, and they were all having tremendous and other messy fun. Making their eggs unique, Patch and Lucky couldn't stop laughing as they got messier and messier and messier. With their eggs were completely painted and dry, Patch and Lucky split up to hide them. The other puppies did the same. Lucky wandered down to a fence near the barn. He found a small knothole in one of the fences. In one of the fence posts. That was just the right size for an egg. He placed it in the hole and nudged it inside. Lucky was sure his brother would never find this hiding spot. Messy, messy, messy. Meanwhile, Patch had headed straight to the woods that bordered the farm. There was a tree with large and twisty roots that Patch thought could hide this egg. He found a small hollow and placed the egg under it. Tail wagging, he ran back toward the farm. Patch and Lucky joined a crowd of other puppies who were not trotting back toward the barn proudly, each certain they'd found the best hiding spot of all. Pongo counted them as they arrived, and once every puppy was present, he barked for their attention. "Is everyone ready for the egg hunt?" he called, and the puppies cheered. "Ready, set, go!" Perdita called, and the puppies scattered happily across the farm and woodlands. "Why don't we look together?" Lucky suggested to Patch. "I want to see if you can find my hiding spot." "Me too. That sounds like fun," Patch said before hurrying off toward the fence where he'd seen Lucky go earlier. Pongo and Perdita watched the puppies search until they turned to see one of the farm hens starting into the empty egg box and clucking in distress. "Oh, Perdita," Henrietta cried. "My egg is missing. I laid one of my eggs in this box and now it's gone." Pongo and Perdita looked at each other in dismay. Henrietta's egg had surely been mixed up with the eggs for the hunt. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, it hadn't taken Patch long to find Lucky's hiding spot. Lucky had accidentally left paw tracks in the mud. But excuse me. "Better luck next time," Patch teased. Now it's your turn." Lucky sniffed and walked toward the woods, nose to the ground. It took Lucky longer to find Patch's hiding spot when they arrived at the tree. Lucky sniffed around as he hunted for the egg. Patch watched in satisfaction, pleased with his clever hiding spot. Then Lucky suddenly gave a disappointed cry. "Oh no! It's broken!" "What? How?" asked Patch. His brother had found the right hiding place, but he'd also found colorful broken eggshells. Then they noticed tiny footprints leading away from the hiding spot. Oops. "It must have hatched," Patch said in surprise. "Look, now what do we do?" Lucky asked. "We should find it as quick as we can before it gets hurt," Patch said. The brothers put their noses to the ground and began to sniff, soon picking up the scent of the baby chick. It had gone up the hill toward the cow pasture. Oh boy. Lucky ran forward, barking at the cow, looked up in surprise, backing away from the baby chick. Unfortunately, the chick ran away from the cow and away from Lucky. It was heading for the barn. Patch and Lucky ran into the barn, yet after it, but it was too dark to see the chick anywhere. Then Patch heard a quiet peeping and looked up. The chick was on top of the stack of hay bales, and the stack was swaying dangerously. The pups braced their paws against the stack, trying to steady it. The top hay bale suddenly fell forward to the ground, taking the chick with it. The puppies relieved the chicks had landed safely on the soft hay, but the chick was on the move again. Patch, that way, Lucky said, and the two ran out the barn door. Patch and Lucky couldn't tell where the chick had gone. At last, Lucky leaned against the wall of a doghouse. This is impossible, Patch. Then they heard a familiar sound. Sitting in the doghouse, curled up on a blanket, was the baby chick. It was peeping softly in its sleep. Oh, how sweet. Puppy's going to be worn out from babysitting. Mom, Dad, I found where Patch hid his egg, Lucky said. But it was actually a chick, Patch explained. Henrietta overheard the cluck in delight. My little chick, you found it. Thank you so much. Oh, how wonderful, Perdita said. But now you don't have an egg, Lucky. That's okay, said Lucky. I think Patch and I have had enough hunting for one day. Okay, that was the end of that story. And I want to say thank you, Liam, again for requesting to see Noah and Olivia. But we're going to get another book and have another story. So stay tuned. Okay, we're back, guys. Sorry. And we are going to read. If I can get it situated. Hang on. Okay. Mickey and the Kitten Sitters. Oh boy. Guess what? Mickey Mouse said to his nephews Morty and Ferdy. We're going to watch Minnie's kitten, Figaro. She visits her cousin. Isn't that exciting? Before Morty and Ferdy could answer, they heard wild clucking, flapping, and crowing coming from next door. Suddenly, Pluto raced across the lawn, and a big angry rooster followed close behind him. Pluto, Minnie scolded. Chasing chickens again? Aren't you ashamed? Pluto was a bit ashamed, but only because he had let the rooster bully him. Mickey picked up Figaro. They were going to have such a fun night. Mickey waved goodbye to Minnie. Figaro meowed. It's a good thing Figaro is staying with you, Minnie told Mickey as she got into her car. Maybe he can teach Pluto how to behave. Minnie was hardly out of sight when Figaro kept out of Mickey's I'm so sorry. Figaro leaped out of Mickey's arms and scampered into the kitchen. With one quick hop, he jumped onto the table and knocked over a pitcher of cream. Pluto growled at the kitten, but Mickey just cleaned up the mess, taking it easy. Pluto, he said, Figaro is our guest. At dinner time, Pluto ate his food the way a good dog should. But no matter how hard Mickey and the boys tried, Figaro wouldn't touch the special food Minnie had left for him. At bedtime, Figaro would not use the cushion that Minnie had brought for him. Instead, he got into bed with Bertie and tickled his ears. Finally, he bounced off to the kitchen. Uncle Mickey, called Morty, did you remember to close the kitchen window? Oh, no, cried Mickey, jumping out of the bed. The kitchen window was open, and Figaro was nowhere to be seen. Oh, no. Mickey and the boys searched the entire house. They looked upstairs and downstairs, under every chair, and even in the yard. But she couldn't find the little kitten anywhere. You two stay here, Mickey told his nephews. Pluto and I will find Figaro. Pluto does not look happy. Mickey and Pluto went to Minnie's house first, but Figaro wasn't there. Next, they went to the park down the street. Have you seen a little black and white kitten? Mickey asked a policeman. I certainly have, answered the policeman. He was teasing the ducks by the pond. Mickey and Pluto hurried to the pond. Figaro wasn't there, but they did find some small, muddy footprints. Mickey and Pluto followed the trail of footprints to the main street where they met a grocery truck driver. Have you seen a kitten? Mickey asked. Have I? Cried the driver. He knocked over my eggs, Mickey groaned as he paid for the eggs. Where was Figaro? Mickey and Pluto searched the whole town, but there was no sign of the kitten. By the time they returned home, the sun was starting to rise. Soon Minnie drove up. "Where is Figaro?" she asked. No one answered. "Something has happened to him," Minnie cried. "Can't I trust you to watch my one sweet little kitten?" Just then there was a loud clucking from the yard. Next door, a dozen frantic hens came flapping over the fence, while with Figaro close behind. Oh my goodness. There's your sweet little kitten." "There's your sweet little kitten," exclaimed Mickey. "He ran away last night and teased the ducks at the park. Then he broke the eggs in the grocery truck, and now he's chasing the chickens," Minnie finished. My goodness, was a naughty kitten. "I had hoped Figaro would teach Pluto some manners," Minnie said. "Instead, Pluto has been teaching him to misbehave." "Pluto didn't do anything wrong," Birdie said. But Minnie wouldn't listen. She picked up Figaro and quickly drove away. "Don't worry, boys," said Mickey. "We'll tell her the whole story later when she's not so upset." Excuse me. "Please don't tell her too soon," begged Marty. "As long as Aunt Minnie thinks Pluto is a bad dog, we won't have to kitten sit Figaro." Mickey smiled and said, "Maybe we should wait a little while. We could all use some peace and quiet." And with that, he and Pluto settled down for a well-deserved nap. Just a moment. Hello, we're back. Sorry. Now we're going to read one of my favorite movies. It's called The Princess and the Frog. And the name of the story is The Best Friend Sleepover. Oh boy. Here we go. Tiana and Charlotte had been best friends for as long as they could remember. The two shared an unlikely friendship. While Charlotte was a big dreamer, Tiana knew the importance of hard work, but the two loved spending as much time together as they could. "Come on, Tia, it's one day," Charlotte said. "Surely you can be away from the restaurant for one day." Tiana sighed. For days Charlotte had been trying to talk her into going on a shopping trip. The problem was Tiana had just had too much to do at her restaurant. She barely had time to sit down, much less take a whole day off. "Please, pretty please," with powdered sugar on top, Charlotte pleaded. Tiana looked around the kitchen. She still had to finish the gumbo, make some cornbread, and prepare that night's special dish. "I'm sorry, Lottie," she said, shaking her head. Tiana's place needs me. I don't have time to watch you try on 100 dresses. Make sure everything here runs smoothly is just too important. Tiana turned and went back to chopping carrots. Maybe next week, she said, or the week after that. Charlotte crossed her arms and pouted. All you think about is your restaurant, she said. What about your friends? This is important. I need a new dress for Big Daddy's gala. Lottie, Tiana began. I told you. Fine, Charlotte said, cutting her off. Oh my goodness, guys, sorry. If that's how you feel, I'll go by myself. But see if I'm around the next time you need help. With a stomp, Charlotte turned around and stormed out of the kitchen, slamming the door behind her on the way out. Oh boy. Looks like a recipe for disaster, huh, guys? That afternoon, Charlotte went to her favorite boutique. She tried on every dress they had, but shopping for a dress wasn't the same without her best friend. With no one to model for Charlotte's favorite pastime, just wasn't any fun. Meanwhile, Tiana finished making the gumbo, and she made the cornbread, and she prepared the night special. Tiana looked at the pile of dirty dishes and sighed. Dishes were her least favorite part of working in the kitchen, but most of the nights she had Lottie to talk to while she worked. Listening to her best friend's excited chatter always seemed to make the cleanup go faster. Without her, the job dragged on and on. That night, as Tiana got ready for bed, she looked out the window. If she had learned anything from her father, it was the importance of friends and family. Tiana sighed. The restaurant was important, but not as important as Lottie. She knew she had to find a way to make up with her best friend. Over at the La Bouffe estate, Charlotte grumbled and she complained, but most of all, she missed Tiana. Maybe she had taken things too far when she stormed out of Tiana's place. After all, the restaurant had been Tiana's dream for as long as Charlotte could remember, and making sure it ran smoothly was important. Lottie knew that she had to find a way to make up with her best friend. There's Lottie. There's Tiana. The next morning, Tiana heard a noise coming, from the kitchen. Then she smelled something burning. Flinging around the door, she found Charlotte standing over a pot of boiling oil and burned beignets. "Lottie," Tiana said, "what are you doing?" Just then, Tiana noticed a tear sliding down Charlotte's cheek. "I wanted to help," Charlotte explained. "I felt bad about yesterday, and I thought maybe I could make it up to you, but now I've ruined everything." Oh my goodness. Tiana sighed and hugged Charlotte. "I'm sorry too. I should have remembered that some things are more important than my restaurant, and you're right at the top of that list." Tiana looked round the kitchen. "You're right, Lottie," she continued. "This place can run without me for a day, and I know just what we need. A good old-fashioned Tiana and Charlotte day." "Oh, Tia, really?" Charlotte asked. "That sounds wonderful." Tiana and Charlotte cleaned up the mess in the kitchen. Then Tiana showed her best friend how to make beignets the right way. In no time, Charlotte was rolling out the dough and frying up perfect beignets. "Now that's more like it," she cried, examining her handiwork. The next two went Okay. The next two went shopping. Charlotte tried on dress after dress. All the gowns that had seemed drab and boring the day before seemed perfect now. Soon Charlotte had found not one, not two, three dresses for Big Daddy's gala. She even helped Tiana pick out the perfect gown. That night, Tia lay on Charlotte's bed. "What are you doing, Lottie?" she called to her best friend. "I'm exhausted. Let's go to bed." I'm looking for Charlotte. I'm looking for," Charlotte began, then trailed off. Where is it?" "Ah," Charlotte poked her head out of the closet. "This," she said, holding up a book. Tiana smiled. It was the book that her it was the book her mother read just to them just as children. "What a perfect way to end our day," she said. Charlotte nodded and scrambled onto the bed next to Tiana. Tiana opened the book, and the two snuggled up to read the bedtime story together. How sweet. Excuse me. And I want to thank you all for joining us today for story time. And I want to thank Liam over at Reborn. Excuse me. Let me get this right. I want to thank Liam over at Reborn Huggles Nursery and his mommy for wanting to see Noah and Olivia. And I want you to all go and check her out. She's a sweet lady. Go over there and give Reborn Huggles some YouTube love. And keep her in your prayers. She's going through something right now, but Lord knows the need. So, yeah. Just keep her in your prayers and God will solve that problem. So, thank you all for joining us. And from me, Noah, and Olivia, we wish you a great week, not just a good week. Much love, everyone. Bye-bye.